everybody, welcome to another edition of Club and Country. I'm Russ Thaler. The full 23-man U.S. national team squad for Copa America was in Texas for a warm-up match against Ecuador, and Darlington Nagbe scored a late goal in a 1-0 win for the red, white, and blue. Let's hear what the team had to say about the game afterwards.
We talked about coming in here and getting the win and setting the tone going into the tournament, and felt good to get the goal to help us get the win.
We know against all these teams it's going to be very intense. They're a very physical team, and we're going to get that in Copa, so it was just a great game to prepare, and I think we did a really good job of competing tonight, so that's why we got the win.
You know, you want to build confidence with these two friendlies. It is important that we feel confident going into that tournament. So this is important that you grind out a game like this today, so I think it's good for us, definitely.
And for more of the game, we bring in former MLS striker Calen Carr, who's also going to be joining us for Copa America coverage out in San Jose as well. Calen, welcome. What were your first impressions about the full squad?
Well, I thought it was a good step for them. You want to take these games seriously. Prepare for this tournament. They haven't had a lot of time together. All in all, a positive. Of course, those substitutions that came on ended up making the difference.
Yeah, and we saw a youth infused into the lineup in the second half. Bobby Wood, Christian Pulisic, and Darlington Nagbe, who ended up getting the goal. How big is it in that first game for these new guys to perform in the way they did, knowing that Wood has been around for a little while?
Yeah, but he's still a young guy, of course. He's doing excellent in the Bundesliga, but I think Nagbe is the guy that we want to focus on here. Jurgen talked at halftime about him possibly being a breakout star during Copa America. I can definitely see that happen. He's a name that I talk to my friends about who maybe don't follow MLS and follow more European soccer. I think he's a name that can really break through. Getting your first goal out of the way before the tournament starts, I think that's crucial for him.
How about Christian Pulisic? Kid comes in 17 years old. We know he plays at a very high level at Dortmund, but to see him on the field with the national team, getting extended minutes like this, what did you think?
Well, he's forced his way in. At Dortmund, he doesn't really have any reservations when he's playing. He takes his first touch positive. That's something I always like about him. And he's not intimidated by the moment. He's a young guy, but he seems up for the challenge. His pace creates a lot of problems, of course, but then once he gets on the ball, he's very calm. You saw even on the Bedoya chance, he's able to win that ball down in the corner, keep it alive, pass it to Nagbe, who finds Graham Susie. Excellent little run through. Bedoya inches away on that one, but that chance doesn't come if Pulisic doesn't have those qualities.
As far as the way Jurgen Klinsmann might set this team up in the opener against Colombia, we saw a different squad really in the second half from the first half. How would you expect Jurgen to set him up to start a game against Colombia?
Well, you never know, Russ, but I think you'll see something quite similar, actually. You've got Bradley, Jones, and Beckerman in the middle again. That's the first time I think we've seen those three since the World Cup in 2014. They were so successful there. Now, it wasn't the most beautiful game in the first half, but they were compact. And against a team like Colombia, that midfield is one of the best in the world. You want to be strong. And then like in the second half, you saw a little bit of the formula, bringing in a Nagbe. Once the game opens up a little bit, I think he'll start as the tournament goes on, but maybe from the get-go, coming off the bench, bringing him and some of the youth energy off the bench to start is smart.
Now, you're going to be coming out to San Jose to watch training with us ahead of the opener against Colombia, and then in Santa Clara for the game. What are you most looking forward to?
Well, I want to see Colombia play as well. I think getting to see them play against the United States is always a historic match. I remember the one in '94. Now in the Bay Area, actually, and now you get to see it again back in the Bay Area. That'll be fun. Colombia is ranked 4th in the world during FIFA ratings. We know those don't mean everything, of course. But they've got James Rodriguez, Cuadrado, Baca, some excellent players. I want to see how the U.S. is going to match up.
All right, Calen, thanks a lot. We'll see you next week in Santa Clara. Now the team's in Kansas City getting ready for their final warm-up match for Copa America, where they'll be taking on Bolivia. And recently, Alexi Lalas stopped by to talk about that matchup.
I would look at that game as a really kind of fine-tuning thing, and also an opportunity to test players that maybe aren't starters, but how they are going to function within a position that that Jurgen Klinsmann sees them in. So I don't necessarily look at it as this is the starting 11 that is then going to be the starting 11 that faces Colombia when you're looking at the Bolivia game.
Now make sure you check back tomorrow on MLSsoccer.com as we have coverage from Kansas City ahead of that match against Bolivia. That game is at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and Unimas. See you tomorrow on Club and Country.